Books, books. I like books. I'm gonna read them all.
Hi readers, Chris here. Welcome to my channel where I review fantasy, Stephen King, all sorts of books. And today I'm going to be talking about Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. This book was recommended to me by Kristen's Reading Nook over on Instagram. Kristen always recommends these books that are like outside of my normal wheelhouse, like fantasy, but they're always really good, and this one was too. I'm going to tell you why. If you know nothing about this book basically follows the storyline of two characters. Actually, I'll say two and a half characters. Our main character is this woman named Tova. She's in her 70s. She's kind of alone. She had a son that passed away unexpectedly that when he was young. There's kind of a mystery around the passing of her son. Everyone in the town thinks that her son committed suicide, but it was never really proved what happened to him. And now she's living this lonely life where she works every night, basically doing maintenance and cleaning work at the local aquarium. That's kind of one storyline, Tova at the aquarium. On the other storyline, we have a young boy named Cameron. He's a young kid and he's very lost in life. He's very lost. He's kind of drifted from job to job. He never had any idea who his parents were. Again, similar to Tova, he's a young guy who's very alone. He one day finds out that his father is this like super big, rich, like real estate mogul in Seattle, I think this takes place in. So he goes on a journey to try and find his father and basically find out, like, you know, why his parents never wanted him, etc., etc., etc. And the half a character is Marcellus the octopus. We don't get a ton of Marcellus in this book. We do, however, get a handful of chapters that are actually told from Marcellus's point of view. So every time we get a chapter from Marcellus, it starts with him talking about how long he's been in captivity. And Marcellus really likes Tova. He really loves her. And Marcellus is very smart, very intelligent. And Marcellus knows what's going on before most of the characters actually know what's going on. And that's all I'll say about that for now. So what I like about this book, very simply, is three things. Number one, it's a really good, like, heartwarming, feel-good story. It is a feel-good story. It's about two people who are both lost, and they kind of each go on these journeys that are similar, but yet completely different at the same time to, like, find something that they're missing in their lives. And the way that happens and the way that it unfolds is, like, really fun to watch, or I guess read in this case. So if you are someone that likes like a feel-good story, something that's sweet, something that's heartwarming, something that's just like fun to read, you definitely might consider this one. Number two, obviously, is Marcellus. As an animal lover myself, anytime that there's a book that features an animal in a prominent way, it's usually something that I enjoy. And I love that Marcellus gets his own chapters in this book. I will say that I wish he had gotten more chapters, but the chapters that we do get from him, I do appreciate. I will just say that sometimes animal books can be hard for me if there is some sort of a huge, impactful death. That does not happen in this book. I will say there's something that's like alluded to, but Marcellus has a very different ending than what you would expect, and I appreciate that about the book. And then the third thing really is just the writing. The way that this book is written and the way that it's paced is actually really good. And Shelby Van Pelt, this is her first novel, her first book, which I find super impressive because basically the way the book is written is it kind of goes, you get to know Tova a little bit in the beginning, like the first couple of chapters, and then all of a sudden it switches over to Cameron. And at first it feels very jarring, like, why are we all of a sudden following some other character who's in a completely different location that has nothing to do with Tova? But as the story goes along, these two characters who seemed so far apart start to get closer and closer together. Closer, like physically closer, emotionally closer, like, and I think that was really well done, and it really makes it interesting to read. Because I think as a reader, you start to notice things and you start to suspect things. And I'm someone who likes to see like my suspicions get paid off. So I really enjoyed that experience of reading this book. So those are the three things I liked. There's really not much that I didn't like about this one. The only thing that I will say is that as it gets towards the end, you as the reader, like, you know certain information that the characters do not. And the characters make some decisions that seem really annoying. And it's like one of those situations where you just want to reach in the book and grab them and be like, oh my God, just talk to each other, just communicate. You would figure it all out if you would just communicate. So I feel like that part was dragged out a little bit too long. Like, it really takes it down to like the last page before these issues that the book sets up gets resolved. So I think that was dragged out a little too long. And yes, I found that a bit frustrating. I wanted to scream at the characters at times, but that's just me. Someone else might think that that's like fun, I guess. So yeah, overall, I'm super happy that I read this one. I really, really enjoyed it, and I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for something easy, lighthearted, fun to read, and features a sentient octopus. So that is it for me today. So now I want to know from you, have you read Remarkably Bright Creatures? I know there's a couple of you out there that have, because we've talked about it, but if you haven't, have you read any other books with octopuses in them? Let me and Swiper know. And as always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, please subscribe to my channel for more bookish stuff and more furry friends coming your way soon. All right, everyone, happy reading. Are you a sleepy Swiper? Can you give Mama a kiss? Thank you, Swiper. Yes, thank you.